Okay guys, so we're talking about Friday the 30th of December. We have the big weightlifting piece to start off here, which is why we only have the leaderboard workout and the accessory afterwards, because this weightlifting is going to take, it's going to take an hour or maybe even longer when you're including a longer warm-up in there. So that is sort of the main focus of today's session. We, of course, are always trying to get stronger. We're always laying foundations to be better at lifting and improve your lifting, but it's not like we've been specifically preparing for a weightlifting competition. So don't go into this with the mindset of you have to PR both lifts. You need to go into this. What I think is always healthy is to have sort of a minimum number you would like to hit, just a bottom level that you want to hit on all training days, which is probably somewhere in the 90, maybe if you're a really good lifter, maybe closer to 95% of your max. And you want to hit that. Let's say you've got 5 lifts here. You want to be aiming for that on rep 3 or 4 and just giving yourself that opportunity to go heavier if it's the day for it. But as you all know, it's not always the day for it. I don't decide when that day is. I can adjust and manipulate the training to make it as good for you as possible, but you have done 3 hard days training at the start of this week. That fatigue is going to carry over. If we wanted to specifically focus on maxing out, I would have given you a full taper week building into this. So keep those things in mind, because I know a lot of you put way too much pressure on yourself to PR just because it says building to a heavy single in the program. But looking at that session, you're going to do the general warm-up that I wrote down, or a variation of that if you are able to do your own warm-ups because you have things that work specifically well for you. Then do that, ignore what I wrote, and do the things that you think make you lift best. Once you get up to about 40 to 50% of your max snatch on the bar, you can start the clock. Just a tip, make sure you have all the things out you're going to need for clean and jerk as well. So all the plates out you're going to need, all the accessories if you need different wrist wraps or different shoes or whatever it is throughout this session, have them out ready, because there's not much time to be going back and forth and doing those things. You don't want to eat into your working time. So 8 minutes of more warm up for snatch, and again that is just sort of building and figuring out what you want your first attempt to be. You'll have 2 minutes rest and you'll load up the bar to where you want your first attempt to be, and you'll do 1 snatch attempt on 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So every 2 minutes. You get 1 attempt whether you hit or miss. So 1 go, and then you adjust the load up or down depending on if you did hit or miss. With stuff like this, so you've got 5 attempts here. I would say the first one needs to be decently safe. I would say somewhere in the 85% range. You increase up a little bit to a little bit closer to 90% on your second lift or your third lift. So maybe by the third lift, you're around 90 to 92, 93%. Your fourth lift is creeping closer to your max. And then your last lift, if the previous one went well, could be a new max attempt. If you're a really confident lifter, you could start a little bit heavier so that you give yourself 2 max attempts at the end. But if you're not such a confident lifter, it's better to get those sort of confidence builders in rep 1 and 2. So you need to know yourself a little bit going into that one. And then after the snatch, we repeat the whole process again, but for clean and jerk. And there is some clean and jerk sort of barbell warm-up that I've put in initially. So you should be able to go, your body's gonna be super warm. You should be able to go directly into that clean and jerk session after the snatch. But if you have particularly poor mobility related to clean and jerk, you may need to add in an extra 5 minutes in between the snatch and the clean and jerk, maybe to warm up a really bad front rack position or a bad narrow overhead position or front squat position. If there's something specific that you really need to work on, then just add in an extra 5 minutes to work on that in between. But good luck with your lifting. Make sure you get plenty of posts up on Instagram so I can see those and try and get as many reposted as I can.